North Korea versus American Special Forces. Who would win? Let's start today's video by taking a look at both special forces and what assets they have at their fingertips before we dive into them battling each other. The Korean People's Army Special Operations Force is a group that consists of specially equipped and trained elite military units that are trained in different specialties. These include training geared specifically towards military, political, or psychological operations in North Korea. It isn't clear exactly when the KPASOF was created, but they have been active in the decades since the Korean War, with them first being visible when North Korean maritime commandos landed on the beaches in South Korea on October 30th, 1968. Right now it is believed that there are around 200,000 Special Operations Force soldiers. This is a decently high number of people considering the population of North Korea is at 25.78 million people, and we are talking about a group of highly specialized soldiers, but part of this may be due to the conscription that exists within North Korea. At the moment, despite the ambiguity surrounding its legality, men are universally conscripted and women undergo selective conscription. In North Korea, the conscription takes place at the age of 14, while service starts at 17 and ends at 30. I suppose if you're being forced into military service, it only makes sense that there are going to be more people who choose to make it their career and achieve the highest level possible, which would definitely be these Special Operations Forces. In 2017, during the Pyongyang parade, a new unit of KPA Special Forces marched along with elements of the Korean People's Army parade, wearing a slew of new, modern combat gear. This included things like night vision goggles and plate carriers. This brand new unit was called the Lightning Commandos, and it was revealed that their goal was to counter the US Navy SEALs and the Republic of Korea Navy Special Warfare Flotilla. Just a few short days ago, there was a display put on by members of the North Korean military at the Defense Development Exhibition in Pyongyang, in which North Korean Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un was in attendance. There were soldiers ramming their heads through tiles, soldiers getting hit with wooden bars, and even a shirtless soldier laying on broken glass with a slab of granite on top of him that was being hit with a hammer. This exhibition also showed the mass amounts of missiles and a whole fleet of other weapons, but it needed to also include this display of stunts to show that their soldiers have been trained to do the absolute unthinkable. During the exhibition, it is said that a female voice announced over the speakers, quote, "If the enemy dares to encroach upon our land, these soldiers will turn into cast iron fists and lightning speed monsters to protect the peace of the motherland." Despite their small size, North Korea has shown that not only its special forces, but their entire military is one to be reckoned with when they placed 25th in terms of the world's military powers. This may seem like an unimpressive ranking, but take into account that on the list of largest countries by area, they rank 97th. The jump in their military ranking can in part be attributed to the mandatory enlisting, but it mainly is due to the amount of money and focus poured into their military operations. It is said that every year North Korea spends an above-board $1.6 billion on their military budget. I am not saying that this is true because I have absolutely no way of confirming this, but there are many rumors that suggest that the military budget is significantly higher than this due to criminal activity and underground funding, but again, like I said before, these are just rumors and rumblings and could potentially not be true at all. There are many different special operation forces in the United States, with the most famous probably being the Navy SEALs. Other units include the Division Marine Recon, the Air Force Special Operations Weatherman, or the supposed heaviest of all the hitters, the Army Combined Applications Group, just to name a few, because I swear there are so many it's hard to keep up. It is said that this last one is the only special operations group outside of SEAL Team 6 that is guaranteed upon acceptance to have direct and close contact with the enemy, regardless of whether or not America is at war. People who get chosen for this team are the best of the best and have worked their way to get where they are. It is not an easy feat either. While there aren't any insane exhibition stunts being performed by Navy SEAL members, there are still grueling physical and psychological tests that need to be performed by all potential members. Tests that aren't for the weak, whether physical or psychological. When many people think of the United States Armed Forces, they think of the Green Berets, which is a versatile army unit made up of what are called quiet professionals. Their roles include unconventional warfare, foreign internal defense, special recon, direct action, counterterrorism, counter-proliferation, and information operations. The United States, on that same list of largest countries by area that I mentioned before, ranks either 3rd or 4th, but on the list of most powerful militaries, they rank number 1. The United States undoubtedly is the strongest military force in the world, and their military budget is sitting at an astounding $705 billion a year, and this, coupled with their economic and cultural influence, makes them a global superpower. In fact, the United States is the only country who seems to have all of these heavy-hitting influences, which is why it is currently the only global superpower that exists. It is said that the American Special Forces first came to be in 1987 after a failed raid that took place in 1980, which was intended to rescue American hostages in Iran. Since then, the number of people in the American Special Forces has only been growing. It is said that there are about 1.3 million active duty personnel in the US military as of 2018. It is said that this 1.3 million is broken down into 35% being in the Army, 3% being in the Coast Guard, 14% in the Marine Corps, 24% in the Air Force, and 24% in the Navy. If we consider only the Air Force and the Navy as the Special Operations Forces, we're already talking about around 624,000 Special Force members, but the number truly might be even higher, especially because the Marine Corps is also part of the Special Operations Command. Despite there not being mandatory enlisting in the United States, their population size, which sits at 329.5 million, it completely makes sense as to why this number is significantly higher than North Korea, which has conscription. Now that we've taken a solid look at what both countries' special forces consist of, who would win a war between the two of them? North Korea may have a ton of nuclear power that they are seemingly more prepared to use, as well as a bunch of soldiers who are willing to do the unthinkable, but this alone does not a winner make. The United States Special Forces have the same kind of power, and likely even more because of sheer manpower, as well as massive amounts of funding. If these two countries were at war, the North Korean Special Forces may be able to get a similar amount of men because of their conscription, but even still, it is unlikely that they'd be a match for the United States Special Ops. The one way I could see North Korea taking a lead is with the use of nuclear warfare, but this would be absolutely disastrous. Not only would this be terrifying for those living in the United States and countries surrounding it, and of course would cause many people to lose their lives, the strike back would be even worse. It is unlikely that once a nuclear bomb was thrown, that one wouldn't be thrown right back. While North Korea does have the strong and intimidating ally of China, the United States would most likely have places like Japan, South Korea, and Australia, and possibly even Russia, which ranks even above China on the list of most powerful militaries. I guess what I'm trying to say is that there are ways where a win on either side could be feasible, but because of the size of North Korea, all around it seems more likely that a win from the United States Special Forces would occur. Either way, this is a scenario that I think we can all hope doesn't come true, because the aftermath could have effects seen everywhere. Alright guys, that has been our video for today. Thank you so much for checking it out. Make sure you hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. Stay curious, LBQ fam, and I'll see you next time. Bye!